Second round of peace talks between the Ukrainian and Russian delegations have ended. The Turkish Foreign Ministry spokesperson said the spokesperson also stated that the meeting did not end negatively. The talks took place at Istanbul's Chiragan Palace, aimed to end the war which has raged on for more than 3 years. The meeting is said to have lasted for just over an hour. Speaking at the NATO Eastern Flank Summit, Zelensky said that Ukraine and Russia are working on another round of exchange of prisoners of war. He also said that Putin must not be rewarded for war. Ukrainian presidential aide Andriy Yermak said that Ukrainian negotiators handed Russian officials a list of children illegally deported by Moscow during the war, demanding their return. Ukrainian Defense Minister Rustem Umelov led Kyiv's delegation, while Russia's side was headed by Vladimir Medinsky. Medinsky currently serves as an aide to Putin. Turkey's Foreign Minister Hakan Fidan oversaw the talks. The talks come just a day after Ukraine launched Operation Spiderweb, an audacious drone offensive deep into Russian territory, which targeted multiple air bases and damaged up to 40 strategic Russian bombers. This is the second round of talks being held in Istanbul. The previous session last month resulted in a large-scale prisoner exchange, but failed to produce a lasting ceasefire or any other major breakthrough towards ending this war. Now we have guests joining us. Andrea Lucidi, she's a war reporter live from Donbass. Thank you for joining us today. Andrea, now that the peace talks have concluded, although the Turkish Foreign Ministry spokesperson has only said that it did not end negatively, what are your take on these talks?
Expected, I saw only small steps in this peace talking because the yesterday attacks of Ukraine against Russia airfields, I'm sure, have made the situation of this talking little bit more added more tension to this talks. And yeah, the parts like said agreed about a new prisoner exchange, but only few concrete steps for a peace. And personally, I don't think that we will see a resolution for this conflict in short time.
And according to you, Andrea, is Russia serious about negotiations or just buying time for a spring offensive?
I think that Russia is take this negotiation serious, and because it's the first interest of Russia to solve the conflict. But Russia has strictly claims about a peace. For example, since months, the spokesman of the Kremlin, Dmitry Peskov, said that it's necessary that Russia and Ukraine agreed about the motivation that bring the two countries into the war. For example, the NATO presence in Ukraine and the future of membership thinks that it's necessary to negotiate it. But unfortunately, from Ukraine, this is not a main topic to discuss. And if the situation will continue as this, this step-by-step stall, I think that it's needed much time for have concrete results. At this moment, like I said, the Ukrainian-Russian delegation agreed on only about new prisoner exchange, and they agreed for a third talk about peace. But at this moment, we don't know the future date of new meeting and if there are new topics about future negotiations.
And I'll also like to touch on Turkey, the location of these talks. Does Turkey have enough leverage to mediate a meaningful breakthrough between these two sides?
Turkey presents themselves as a mediator since the first weeks of the conflict in 2022. So I think that even Turkey is a NATO country, the role of Turkey now can work very well as a mediator. Personally, I see that the ideal role for a mediator in the conflict will be the European Union. But at the moment, it's impossible because the European Union is completely under the Washington foreign policy. So as a mediator, Russia and Ukraine need a third actor. And in this case, Turkey is working very well.
And how come you didn't mention US's role in this? What role is the US really playing behind closed doors? Are they really pushing for compromise or hard lines here?
I think that the Trump administration have enough of this situation. Trump doesn't see Russia as an enemy for the US and want to prioritize his foreign policy against Iran and China. So in the Middle East and in the Far East Asia, Southeast Asia, sorry. And for this reason, it's needed that Europe will be calm. I think that his policy, the Trump policy as isolationist, pro-tariff politician will not lead Ukraine, but Trump can force the Ukrainian leadership to agree or have a compromise with Russia.
And now switching focus for a moment to Operation Spiderweb. After Operation Spiderweb, is Russia likely to negotiate or retaliate?
I think this operation from the Special Service of Ukraine inside Russia will motivate Russia for a big resistance against a new attempt from Ukraine to hit the Russian military fields or the Russian strategical infrastructures like the railways. I think in the Russian people, such attack gave more strength, more reasons for prolongate the war against Ukraine.
And
because sorry, if I would like to add small part, a lot of Russian people it's thinking that this war is not a simple war against Russia and Ukraine, but against Russia and the West, like a proxy war that use Ukraine as a first stage. But behind Ukraine, there are all the NATO and Western states against Russia. This is the